Say hi.
Hello.
We're recording. Here we are. It is April 10th, 2024 at 6 o'clock. And we are here for the Grit team meeting. Let's go. We got Jack with us joining in. We have Maggie on the side over here trying to get into the refrigerator. Maggie, she loves black beans. She is a black bean fiend who likes the musical fruit. You guys know that expression? Beans, beans, the musical fruit. Does anybody know that? The more you eat, the more you toot. So welcome. Glad you guys could be here. We will try to keep this brief, like I said. So we're gonna get started this weekend. This weekend we have games. Let's go. Pumped up about that. Get a chance to go out against other teams and programs and compete, see where we stack up and how we compare early in the season. But it's an exciting time. So we got to be ready. So make sure you guys are doing your part. Get your booty in the gym a little bit. Do some runs, did some cardio. Try to make sure you are in shape and ready to go because Friday night will be a good intense practice and then we get the chance to compete. So I sent out the game time so everybody should know that. I've dropped it in the group chat with both players and parents, and I'm getting a graphic together that will say who the rosters and the schedule and things like that. So I will be getting you guys that also, so you can post that if you want, send it out to coaches, post it on your social media, whatever you want to do with that. So I'll get that to you guys. Goal setting. So I will have a goal setting sheet. It'll be a Google form that I'm gonna have everyone fill out. So make sure that you yeah, so we'll send out the link for Sanders Court also, so that way everybody knows where that practice is on Friday. So it is not at Pacific University. We have our luau going on, so there will not be practice at Pacific. It'll be at Sanders Court in Sherwood, and I'll be dropping everyone that link to so you can have the address for Friday night. I'll have everybody's uniforms there with names on the back, ready to go. And then we play. Unfortunately, the schedule on Saturday doesn't look like the teams will be able to see each other play. They're not the same time, but they are a half hour away. So I don't think we'll be able to do, you guys will be able to see. But Game Changer app, if you're taking notes and writing things down, which you should be unless you're driving, and you will watch this later and be writing these things down if you are in the car and not where you can take notes right now. But Game Changer app, everyone, every player, every coach, every parent, a parent needs to have the Game Changer app downloaded. What is Game Changer app? It is a way that we can communicate, but more than that, it's a way that we can live stream the game so the people that aren't able to be there can watch. So it's an app, and if we get somebody that can stat the games, say I throw a sick alley oop up to Jacob and he slams it down and swings from the rim, and I'm the scorekeeper or stat keeper, and I put assist minor, 2-point dunk shot, Bolger, it'll clip that. So it like skips back like 15 seconds from when you enter the stat, and it starts recording that, and then it drops it into Jacob's profile and my profile as an assist. So it's called the Game Changer app. So everybody should have that app. Jack doesn't have his yet, but he's still learning how to use technology. All of you should have an iPhone or iPad or something that's able to get the Game Changer app. Practice games this weekend. 16U is in Gresham, Troutdale area at Reynolds High School. 17U will be at Clackamas Community College. Game times, there will be games Sunday. Game times have not been announced yet, but we can see the brackets so we know where we might play. So we need to win so we don't have to play super early in the morning on Sunday. I do know that. That is one thing that I noticed looking at the brackets. That third place plays the 8 a.m. game. Let's see. We also have polos. I'm getting grit polos that have this logo, that have they're Nike. It's this logo, but it's in the blue. Maggie, what are you getting? It's in the blue and pink colorway. So it's that ball embroidered on a Nike polo. If anybody wants one of those, or ask your parents if they would like one, Bulger, I got you. I'll have one for the coaches. All the coaches will get one. And if you have, or we'll get one for you if you want one. Just shoot me a message and we'll get you one. These are what all the players' shooting shirts will kind of look like. Well, not kind of, exactly look like, maybe just in a smaller size for some of you guys. Bigger size for some of you guys too, maybe. I don't know. Nah, probably not. Probably no one else fill out an Excel quite like me. All right. Coach Bulger, I'm gonna kick this over to you real quick. I know you were there. Tell me a little bit about how yesterday was for the guys that were there, or I guess for the guys that weren't there. Give us a little bit of a recap.
Yeah, I mean, I think just our ability to bounce back from not practicing in a minute and come back and remember the stuff that we did in last Tuesday. That's just a testament to y'all and how hard you're working and how serious you're taking it. I think that that's an extremely important quality to have when on an AAU team, because we don't get a lot of time together. So when we put a play in, we need y'all to remember it so we can execute in the game. So I was happy to see that. I think our attention to detail needs to be a little stronger and a little quicker. Coach Lunt was talking about, you need to make a decision fast. You can't wait and then make a choice. So, I mean, that just comes with practice, getting more confident playing. So overall, I thought it was a great workout yesterday. I want guys to focus on a big emphasis that I took with the big guys who were playing inside defense was stepping up and trusting your help defense to go get your man. So that's a big focus that I had for some of our guys yesterday, and I saw people executing it. So that's a shout out to y'all.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Yeah, slippage. We shouldn't have to keep repeating the same stuff. If you are taught something, that should stick, and then we can expand and grow from there. Coach Hellstrom, give us a little bit maybe about what you're looking forward to this weekend, or practice Friday, or comments on last night.
Yeah, I really enjoyed our workout, and I love the competitive aspects of it, but also the teaching aspects of it. I think we've tried to focus early on with defense, and then offensively, just making sure that we're playing off a two, which Coach Lunt would say, or for myself, playing low and slow in a crowd, but just making sure that we're being the best basketball players we can be, and like what Coach Bulger talked about, making great decisions with the ball, and then just being, doing all the different stuff that it takes. Obviously we want to score, but again, it always takes, giving up a good shot for a great shot, and defensively really doing the, giving extra effort, extra energy to make sure that we are taking away those great shots, and just, making teams have to settle for, not great shots, because that's what we force, rather than that's what we just let them have, or they just took it because we just weren't really energized or focused.
Good stuff. I think that's really important. So make sure you guys are working on that. Coach Lund, could you pivot your phone so we can get you full size and go ahead and maybe what you're looking forward to, or anything about Friday's practice at Sanders Court, or anything about the weekend or last night?
Just like I mentioned to the guys there yesterday, different mentality for Friday's practice. We got to get to work. There's a lot of things we have not done in a 5-on-5 setting. So, you all need to be ready just to spend those 2 hours really going through things, whether it's walking through things, whether it's going full speed, but just putting your learning caps on, because this is the nature of AAU ball, but not a lot of time to prepare. So, we've got a lot of stuff we need to get in and get ready for, obviously competing on Saturday.
Focus. You guys got to lock in, going through some press break, maybe just some basic press break principles, things like that. But make sure you guys are ready to focus. But yeah, I like what Coach Hellstrom said about focusing on defense. If they don't score, they can't win. I mean, that's true. Like, we might tie 0-0, but you could, I've been in some games scoring over 100 and got blown out. But I think this weekend, focusing on what we can control is going to be huge, because we might run into teams that are bigger, stronger, more time together, or we might run into teams that we're way better than, but we can't control that. We just got to bring our energy and effort no matter who we're playing. So I think those are things that I want to make sure that when you represent Grit, that you are bringing that intensity. Huddle up on free throws. So Friday we'll go over some of the game time stuff. One thing I know, nobody really likes to sit on the bench, but if you are,
My phone quit working.
I think it's better to not have your back up against the back of the chair. That looks like you don't want to play, you're not interested, you're not paying attention. When you're not in the game, you should still be in the game. When you're not in the game, you should still be in the game. You need to be engaged the whole time. And sometimes I have seen players pout or mope that they're not in the game, or they just slunch back on the bench. Less chance you're going back in the game. If you're sitting forward, and engaged and talking and clapping, and who you're going to be guarding when you get in the game, or who's made 2 threes, and you need to make sure you can test their jumper, or the guy that's clanked the last 2 shots, and you can kind of challenge them. Okay, I've seen that. You can't, I'll take that. You're with us, or whatever Willis might say. There's guys that don't understand those things because they just check into the game and they're like, oh, well, I just checked in. I didn't know that he had back-to-back threes and now he had a third that I was guarding him. I didn't know that. I wasn't in the game. How should I know that? Well, you got to be in the game when you're not in the game. So not letting your back hit the back of the chair, players check out of the game. Players, when you check out of the game, you should dap up or high five, clap hands with the players on the bench. Players on the bench should stand up, greet the players coming off with a high five, fist bump, whatever. But same thing, free throws, quick huddle. It shows unity. It shows the T, togetherness. Togetherness is so important. It's the T in our acronym. So when you guys play leaders, and I know some of you guys are leaders, some of you on your high school team, we're not going to assign or delegate certain players right away that are captain. We're going to do more development and want to see who's naturally, and maybe not even naturally, right? Some of you are better natural leaders, but leadership is something that can be developed. Just like a better jumper, just like a better handle, leadership, I believe, is something that can be developed. How do you develop it? You practice it. you communicate, you talk, you read books about leadership, you talk to other people that are leaders, you do those type of things to make yourself a better leader. And I want everybody in this program to go back to their high school teams or college teams or wherever they go next and be the leader of that program. That's why we do the mental training. That's why we're trying to help make you tougher mentally and physically. So that way, when you get back to your high schools, it's not difficult. It's easier. We want grit to be more intense than your high school seasons. And some of you are going to play at really high level elite 6A high schools. Some of you are going to play at elite 2A, 3A high schools. But wherever you're at, we want you to go back and have people say, shoot, he got a lot better. Where did he play this last spring and summer? If you're worse or the same, you're not the same, you're worse. I'll say that again. Like if you think you're going to go in next year and be the same, you're not, you're worse. There is no neutral. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. There is no neutral. It's not like, oh, we're just treading water, staying the same. Because somebody else out there is working to try to beat you, take your spot on the college roster. Somebody out there that wants your position got jumpers up today. How many of you guys got jumpers up today? That's the message, right? Like I like Aiden put his hand up so I couldn't see it. So I knew that he had done it, raised his hand without letting his elbow bend. Like, yeah, I got my shots up today. Some of you are going to get your shots up right now, which is cool too. And I appreciate you guys joining. But if you don't message me and you don't show up for the Zoom, that's the type of stuff that will really piss me off. If you guys message me and, hey, I can't make it, if you can plan ahead and notify me earlier, better. If you're last minute, okay. If you don't, or it's after the meeting, not good. And some of you guys are kind of skating by and trying to think that I'm not going to check who turned in their final 4 assignments, or maybe he won't find out that I didn't do my amplitude. Yeah. What you do in the dark will always come to light. So if you're putting that stuff off, or you don't think that we're checking up on who's put their assignment in the folder, who's done the assignments that you're supposed to be doing with amplitude, who's going to do their goal setting and set it up exactly like it's going to explain how you're supposed to save it. With this assignment for the final 4, I didn't tell you how to save it. For this next goals assignment, you're going to have to copy, and then you're going to have to rename it. And if you don't rename it the exact format that I say in the headline, then you're not paying attention to details. Details matter. Don't just say, well, it was close, it was about. No, I'm going to say, this is what I want the title to look like. Your last name, the assignment, the date, all it'll be in there. So you don't have to write this down right now. It'll be in the headline. Some people are just so quick to start working that they don't read the explanation of what it's supposed to look like. So make sure you read the details on that. If you don't know what to do on the assignment or how to name it, then ask 3 other teammates. And if they don't know what to tell you, then reach out to me. You know, if I was reaching out, I'd probably reach out to Caleb or Asher, not trying to say that you should pester them, but I would ask Cody. I would ask Clayton or Coda probably. There's certain people that aren't on many of the calls because they're busy. I get it, but those aren't the people that I would watch or ask. Be the type of person that you want your teammates, they feel okay coming to you to ask. So if I was like, hey, Corbin, you're working out right now, but you're getting your shots up, but you're on the meeting. Some people can't join the meeting because they're too busy. However, I'm busy. I got kids running around. I think my daughter might have ran off. My son's probably, he's playing basketball out there. That's a proud dad. He's got a little ball out there in his hoop, shooting hoops out in the side yard. But I'm busy too. So when kids that have no or little responsibility give me the I was too busy to get that done, I don't buy it. And if you're too busy now, you're not going to get less busy as you get older. So you better start managing your time better. If you play 2-3 hours of 2K, Fortnite, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Minecraft, I don't know what kids play, but if you're playing video games and not getting A's, you're wrong. I would say if I didn't have a straight A's or at least B's and A's, if you have any C's, you should not play video games. Anytime you're tempted, study. Anytime you're like, I'm gonna spend this next hour, half hour, and it becomes 2 hours, and then you don't go to sleep, and then it's 3 hours, then you're tired the next day, so you decide not to do the schoolwork, cut it. If you want what you say you want, a lot of you guys raised your hand when you said who wants to play in college. If you play video games and you get B's and C's, quit. Or just say, I don't care about playing in college. Either one of those is okay, but you can't say, I want to play in college, get B's and C's, and not work on my game, eat a lot of Doritos and Funyuns and Oreos, and think you're going to play in college. And so I'm just telling you this now so you're not as disappointed later if Coach Miner didn't help me out. I'm not going to get to play in college. No, you're playing video games instead of doing your schoolwork. And I know some of you are 4.0s and you raised your hand high, Coda, so this might not apply to you. But yeah, I like it. Let's go. That gets me fired up. 4.0. More options for where you can go to college. More options. Whether basketball is a factor in that, hopefully you get a basketball scholarship. If not, you'll get academic scholarship. I know Jacob's talked about that before, how academic or athletic, it's still money. And if you get hurt, God forbid, you would lose the athletic money. You won't lose the merit scholarship academic money. So I'll say that one more time so that way I know that I said it. If you're getting B's and C's and you play video games or you do TikTok dances, whatever, then don't play video games. If you shoot the ball like Jared McCain, play video games, TikTok, paint your nails, be who you are. But he's also a 4.0 at Duke University and can shoot out of the ball. He manages his time better than most, or he's just a genius. Either way, it's working, and that should be the message. If you can get the grades and learn the material, and it doesn't take you 4 hours to grasp that material, then maybe you can, if you have a 4.0 and you like to play a little video game to unwind, relax at the end of the night, then do it. But otherwise, take care of the business in the classroom, take care of business off the floor, get your cardio in, because you guys know that cardio is important. We're going to play 4 games this weekend. If you didn't know, now you know. Be ready to go. Have some fun. But I'll tell you, I've won and I've lost. Winning's more fun. I'll say it. Winning's not everything, but it's sure a hell of a lot more fun than losing. And if you're tired because you haven't been working out or you are fatigued because you stay up late Saturday night playing Halo, maybe, then you're not being a team first player. You're not putting grit, the program, ahead of yourself. So make sure you guys this week get some running in. I'm not going to assign it. I'm not going to say you guys have to time it and show me your screenshot of your time running the 1.5 miles. But if you show up Friday and you're gassed, you're not going to play as well on Saturday and Sunday. And that's going to put you deeper on the bench. And then you're going to maybe mope or pout. I hope not. I hope that doesn't happen to anybody, but I just say it because I've seen it happen. So take care of your business this week. Get a run in, get some sprints in, jump some rope, work on, get a lift, you know, if you don't know what to do, talk to Jacob. You got a college athlete that would, I'm sure, help you out with some workouts to get yourself in shape. So take advantage of having coaches like Jacob that can help. But yeah, you got to be ready. You don't wait until Friday night to get in shape. I'll test you a little bit to see who has been working and who's been waiting, but that's not when you're getting in shape. You got to get your rear in shape this week, get some cardio in, get out. I mean, it's nice here in Portland. No excuses right now for not getting out and getting some cardio. I know the Masters starts this weekend, tomorrow, I think. So I'm sure Rue's dialed in, trying to get ready to make his prediction of who wins the Masters. It's a tradition unlike any other. It's the Masters. I'm not a huge golfer, but I do watch the Masters because those guys are some of the most mentally tough athletes out there. 4 days, the conditioning of walking 18 fairly quickly, the upper body not missing many shots. The guys that win those tournaments don't miss many shots and they're up and down. I just have an immense amount of respect for people who know how to golf and the mentally tough ones and just the pressure, not the, because the putt that goes this far counts the same as the 250-yard drive. So I just have a lot of respect. So the Masters, playing basketball this weekend, checking up on the Masters, see who's leading. I'm fired up. I got to go to the Final Four. I know we had the Zoom call on Sunday, the national championship, the atmosphere. There was more Purdue fans than there were UConn fans. So it got quiet, got loud, got quiet. Just then it got kind of quiet. But no, it wasn't quiet. It was still electric because they knew they were going to win. So it was getting rowdy. That smaller minority section that was the UConn faithful got kind of rowdy. It was fun atmosphere. So I met a lot of college coaches, made new connections, and hopefully those things can help you guys down the road. So it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, I had an incredible time, but I was also working for you guys. Maybe down the road, one of you will want to be a student assistant after you're done playing, or graduate assistant after you're done playing. Or, you know, and I met coaches, and coaches move around. Coach Joe White played for me at Southern Oregon University, became an assistant junior college coach, and then he became a head junior college coach. Then he got the opportunity to go to a Division I school as an assistant coach, and now he's an associate head coach at a Division I university. So he drove half hour to come over to the Airbnb I was staying and hang out with my brother and myself. And the relationships are the prize. And so you never know where people are going to go. You never know who's going to know somebody that can help you. And that's maybe not why you should be nice to other people, but it doesn't hurt. So do the right thing. Build equity in every relationship you have. Build equity. Put in time building those relationships before you need it. Build those relationships before you need it. Because if you don't, it's harder to ask for a favor if you don't know somebody very well. But people do it all the time. People that have burned me over $50 or $100 have come back and asked me to help them. And so sometimes I have to give them kind of an adult grown-up lesson. Yeah, I'll help you. It's not going to be referring you to a college coach. It's going to be telling you that life sucks, especially if you burn somebody. Don't expect them to help you out in the future. That's helping you out. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to help you out by connecting you with a college coach. This is more of a life lesson, right? So make sure that you guys, Maggie. No. Maggie likes beans and the Costco chicken. So trying to keep stuff together here while laying down a lesson for you guys. But if you guys don't know, Maggie is 6, has a rare syndrome. So she's nonverbal, but she is super happy most of the time. An incredible young girl who is going to and already has changed the world. Maggie Miner It's a rare syndrome. It's the only diagnosed case in the state of Oregon right now that has this gene issue that Maggie has. So I know all of your parents think you guys are 1 in a million. I'm actually like scientifically proven that Maggie's like she's more rare than 1 in a million. But she can be one you got to keep your eyes on at all times because she knows how to get in the refrigerator. So we had to maneuver this bungee cord to try to hold the doors of the refrigerator together because she gets in there. And right now she's got string cheese. She can't get into string cheese unless she just chews through the plastic. So how'd you get? Yeah, so she likes cheese. But yeah, she's nonverbal, but she definitely can communicate what she wants. You know when she's hungry or thirsty, that she's breaking into the refrigerator. And so yeah, busy. I'm a busy guy too, but I'm passionate about trying to help you guys. And that's one lesson I just wanted to drop tonight, that if your actions don't line up with your goals, change your goals or change your actions. If your actions don't fit your goals, then change one or the other. You can't have $1 million dreams with a minimum wage work ethic. And I know if you guys had the choice to be rich or poor, I would bet all of you would choose rich. So you wanting to be rich, you wanting to have nice things doesn't differentiate you at all. Think about that, right? Like you thinking in your mind, well, I want to be rich or I want to play college basketball. That's what's in your mind, but then your actions don't fit that, or you're not doing things to help you, start saving money right now, fellas. Put away $50 every time you get a birthday gift from your grandmother. Put it in I'm not financial advice, but I would say like a Roth IRA. There's certain things you can put your money in now that by the time you get to be old, they'll be worth way more. Think about the time value of money, compounding interest. Put in a little bit, don't touch it for a long time, and it'll be worth a lot more. I know it's harder to do, or wait, it's harder to do, easier to say. It's easier to say than it is to do. It's easier to say than it is to do, right? It's easier to say, oh, but then when you're at the movie theaters, dang, I like movie theater popcorn. And Coke sounds really good right now, where maybe a water might be a better option at that moment because it's cheaper. Well, maybe not water. I paid like a lot for a water at the game, but maybe you just skip the popcorn that night because you're going to save that money. So maybe you have some savings for when you go to college, and then you can afford a school that's maybe a little bit more because you've started saving your money for, maybe it's for college, or maybe it's for buying a house when you graduate from college because you got a basketball scholarship and then you don't need that money for college. Whatever it is, I would recommend trying to do something like that. Maybe you can only allocate $10 a week, but I would start stashing that, cutting out maybe one Dutch Bros a week. You know, Dutch Bros started in my hometown, just so everybody knows, 92 in a push cart in Grants Pass. And now it's public. It's worth a lot of money. The Dutch Bros are still, the Dutch bro that passed away helped me on a school project when I was in college. His name is Dane Boersma, and he passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease. But no, you can't have that. That's too hot. Oh, you want this? So Grants Pass, Dutch Bros, cut one out a week, save that money, put it in a Roth IRA, invest it in something, put it in a savings account, buy silver, maybe a gold coin, do something that's going to help you down the road. So I know it's tempting. Maybe you want to take a girl out on a nice date, so you don't want to take her to the Chick-fil-A. You decide, hey, I'm gonna splurge and take her somewhere like Red Robin, right? But hey, Some girls, you take them to Chick-fil-A if they don't respect that, or you take them if they don't want to hang with you, if only you take them to somewhere really nice like Olive Garden. If that's the only reason they're hanging out with you, then move on. Move on. I would move on anyway because girls are nothing but trouble. You can have a long time to have girlfriends, wives. But get one that rebounds for you. And I would say, you know, the basketball, I've never had a player get in trouble with their parents if the parent walks in and they have the basketball in the bed with them. I've seen guys get in trouble if they come in and there's a girlfriend in the bed with you, but a basketball, it always comes back. You bounce it. It's resilient. It can take a lot of bouncing and still be round. So I would say dating is not what I would advise. And I've also recruited against guys with girlfriends. It's harder to recruit against a girlfriend than it is any university. Like if someone's like, oh, I'm looking at, I'm not going to say any names, but if I'm looking at Linfield, that's a name. If I'm looking at Linfield or I'm looking at somewhere else, anywhere else. Anyways, I digress. I'm not going to lecture you guys too much more, but you can't have that, bud. If that's all, we'll wrap it up with that rambling. I'm gonna say, Coach Lunt, do you have anything you want to say before we sign off here for tonight?
I think you've covered everything.
Everything and more. I got a late night, hopefully not tonight, because these ones haven't been sleeping well. And since I've been on the road in Phoenix, I get to get up if they wake up at night, and it's most nights they wake up. Jacob, anything you want to say? Coach Jacob.
Yeah. I just want to say, I say it every time, but stay in the classroom, get good grades. You know, we want to get you that athletic scholarship, but let's be honest, that academic scholarship's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. So get good grades. Please do your homework. Do your homework for grit. Get that stuff in. Like, you guys have no idea how fortunate you are to have the resources that were, being provided to you. A lot of guys didn't get that kind of thing. I didn't get that kind of thing. So eat that stuff up. That's really going to be helpful for you and positive for your growth as a person, as a player. So appreciate y'all being here. Thank you.
Good stuff. I like it. That is important. I appreciate you guys being here. And like I said, it's even if you can't have your camera on, I'd rather have you just listening in. But obviously, this is going to be happening, and I'm making time. Like, I'm doing it too. So I appreciate you guys that do prioritize this and try to do your best to be here live. And then there was people that said they were going to watch it, but they never text me afterwards to let me know that they did, because I remember saying that if you watch this on replay, let me know. I know Cody watched it on replay, couldn't be there live, but told me, hey, I watched the whole thing. Few others of you did too. I know. I'm just gonna say that one because he did. But yeah, I'm pumped for this weekend. Friday night, Sanders Court. Be there, and I'll be sending out the address and everything. And if you guys have questions, ask 3 teammates. You guys should, by now, I've said it enough, have a group chat. You should have the other players' names saved into your phone. You guys should have all that stuff because you've dropped your names in the chat before. I know Asher asked you guys to do that. Some of you guys didn't do it. It's like, what are you doing? These are little things. You got to ace the little things. If you can't ace the little things, how can we expect you to do the big things? If you can't remember to do something, or, oh, I forgot to be at the meeting, it's like, how can we expect you to remember the play when it matters down the stretch? We can't. And then you're on the bench, and then I'm better than that guy. And then you make excuses, and then you moan or pout or complain. So think about that. Think about what you can control. All right. I'm pumped. I got to stay up to keep these kids going. So have some gratitude in your life. Be as resilient as you can. always be intense because you know Coach Bolger, Coach Lunt, Coach Hellstrom, Coach Willis are going to bring the juice, bring some energy. And so you guys better bring it back. I'm excited. The gym at Sanders Court's a little smaller, so it's kind of out in the country. It's a really cool hardwood. It's got a full court going one way, 2 courts going the side, and it's not as big, and it's going to get loud. It's going to get loud in that gym, and we're going to get ready for this weekend. I'll have all the uniforms. I have all the uniforms, and I will say go, and you guys will open them. You guys will figure out whose uniforms what. You'll let me know if there's anything misspelled or missing, and you'll have a time to do it. So you'll have to be able to communicate and let everybody get their uniforms, and then we'll figure out if there's anything missing. But make sure you guys are doing your homework, taking care of yourselves and each other. And with that, we'll say stop. Stop. Oh, I gotta hit. Yes.